Last month, I got a job interview, asked me to do a pre-interview demo app. I think this is interesting because recently I heard there is another similar app in Singapore called Tada. It allows users to pay for the ride using cryptocurrency. And recently, I'm also planning to make a location-based social media app. So I think this app is good for me to get my hands on. So for this demo app, I'm gonna do a app that allow the driver to sign in and offer a ride for users, usually around the airports or train station. Let's see what I got so far. So here you can see this is a map view, and this is my location. So here we have a list of available rides. Here is a list of available rides, and I can scroll horizontally to switch between different rides, and it will show the routes from the start to the destination. So for each ride, we have a card to show the detail, the pickup location and drop-off location, the pickup time, and the, the passenger's name and how many passengers for this ride. And here we can either decline or accept this ride as a driver. So you can see here, this is a label specifies current ride is in pending state, and it's pending to be accepted by a driver or declined by a driver. So if now I try to decline this, you'll see we have an error prompt out, asks me to sign in. So let me try to sign in, and I have a simplified sign in process. So I can click sign in and switch between different driver profile. So this is I'll use the first one and successfully sign in. And then I can start to accept this ride. And now this ride is focused. So if I successfully, if I prepare to start this ride, I can start this ride and successfully have a transition between different states for this button. And if I successfully go to have this passenger on board, I can see pick up passenger. And if I send this passenger to the right destination, and then I can complete this ride and go back to the list. You can see this ride has been completed. And if I decline this ride, it will show it's declined, and I cannot click this button anymore. So that's a list. So let's see, go to the codebase and see how I implement this. So first I go to check the package.json, and this is a file shows what libraries I use for this project. So the first several lines shows I use a component library called ARM primitives. It's actually the React Native reusable library, which is more likely a shutdown version for the React Native. It allows me to customize the design system, customize the library according to the design system. And here, the Redux.js, I use the latest version of Redux.js, and with the Toolkit, it saves me a lot of boilerplate code. So that's my favorite. And React Native sync storage, yeah, maybe. And this is the Expo library, so I use the latest version of Expo. It allows me to support the Android, iOS, and web at the same time, which is also what I specialized in. And I also use Expo location to get the reversed geocode. address, so it won't show the latitude or longitude. Instead, it will show a real address, which is better for the user to understand. And I use Expo router and also native wind. This is a alternative of Tailwind CSS for the React Native, so I can use atomic CSS instead of the style sheet. And also the standard library for React Native and also React Native Reanimated. And here the most two important library for this app is the React Native Maps and the React Native Maps routes. The React Native Maps will show the map view and also the pins. And the React Native Maps routes will show the roads between two pins, two destination, two places. Yeah, and just then I didn't use this so far for this app because I'm using Redux.js with the RTK query. And then for the entrance of this app, let's go to see the index.tsx. We have a map view and some arrow view and also a carousel for this. And each item will be each item will comes from the data of rights and rendered as an individual item. And the most important part of this app will be located in the store part. This is all the state where stored. This is a folder where which store all the state of this app, and we have a store here, and it has reducers from API reducer. This is a reducer I made using the RTK query library, which is the recommended API query library recommended by the Redux team. And I have three different reducer, which is the slices. I have three different slices: map slice, an authentication slice, and write slice. And the map slice will save the state of the current map region, and the will authentication slice will save the current log the user, either a driver or a passenger, and save the token for the head for the authorization, the barrier token. It will be injected into the request header each time we do a request, and this is happen in the base API. So we have a base query, and in the base query we specify the base URL and inject the bearer token. And if we want to, if we also wrap it into a base query with authentication, so it can detect the error, the 401 error, which is the authentication error, and shows a toast I showed just 3 minutes ago. And this is the part we create the base API. And I have write API to define the different endpoints, get writes, get write, and order history, and accept write, decline write, and also update write status, and also the user API, get driver, and login, logout. And all these APIs comes from will go to request the data from a mock server. The mock server, I built this mock server using Marriage.js. So that's pretty similar to another library called msw.js. But the other library has some issue, compatibility issue with Expo and Redux So I choose this one. And also define different endpoints here: get passengers, get drivers, and log in, log out. And this is the endpoint where we get all the rights, available rights from the server. And we also have another, another other endpoints like decline and accept. Yeah, that's it. And I will pass through all the requests to the Google APIs for the map. And the rest of the files will are pretty related to the CI/CD process and maybe styling and pre-commit checking and also linting stuff and environment key. And this key you should have get it have got it from the Google's GCP console, the Google Maps API console. And remember, this key is meant to be exposed the to other users. So remember to set up the restriction in your console. Otherwise, it will be dangerous. You got a unexpected huge bills. And I have some customized hooks to get the first get the location permission and also the current location. And we have a hook to get the address, human readable address from the coordinate. And yeah, that's pretty much for this code base. And I'll keep updating this library and add more interesting feature. So see you next time.